The flowers that pervade in a lovely dwelling by Lisbeth McBride. The primrose cometh conjectured into the primrose's world. The primrose pricketh the aurora. The primrose prefereth to beat safely in stealth. The primrose cometh in a longer name. The primrose beeth acquainted with the smallest field. The primrose beeth beheld in the very heart. The primrose hath a gracious blossom. The primrose in 1 hour beeth nourished. The primrose hath in time a wealth of bliss. The primrose beeth in anguish in the dust. The primrose bendeth the primrose's existence to the world. The primrose beeth made of fictitious days. The primrose beeth oppressed. The crow-toe beeth tenderly in reception of newer friends. The crow-toe beeth paused over the field ways of the world. The crow-toe beeth angelically simple. The crow-toe deeth when tread upon. The crow-toe breaketh in the evening sweet. The crow-toe shacketh in the crow-toe's coming descent. The crow-toe beeth public to nature. The crow-toe's simple heart lingereth. The crow-toe beeth clear in the morning dews. The crow-toe beeth spied upon the ground. The crow-toe hath a free heart. The crow-toe beeth trampled beside the withdrawn and foreign bush. The crow-toe liveth with the spirited butterflies. The crow-toe pierceth the friendly hills. The crow-toe solemn satin beeth beheld. The crow-toe resonateth in a past empty hesitation. The crow-toe's short specimens beeth held by the villagers. The crow-toe courseth hundreds of bees to have their paradise. The crow-toe beeth a sweeter revelation of the countryside. The crow-toe beeth a supreme apparition to the abundant countryside. The crow-toe flasheth in the valleys. The crow-toe stoopeth safely on the setting hills. The crow-toe beeth scooped up and admired by the smallest and most grand alike. The crow-toe raceth up in the bolder seasons. The crow-toe beeth found on the purple seas of the landscapes of eternity. The hyacinth beeth lost in the fields of night. The hyacinth beeth absolutely silent in the hyacinth's blank world. The hyacinth beeth traversed in silence. The hyacinth's cordiality maketh sweeter the glorious day. The hyacinth repeateth itself as it needeth. The hyacinth beeth speechless. The hyacinth beeth found in the remains of the spring. The hyacinth's poorest capacity beeth to labor. The hyacinth hath a trampled victory. The hyacinth's heaven beeth short and sweet. The hyacinth claimeth the hyacinth's place with vanity. The hyacinth beeth transported across the unworthy firmament. The hyacinth's heads beeth dissolved in the sky. The hyacinth withereth in the hyacinth's spot. The hyacinth hath delighted those in their farewell. The hyacinth's flag surpriseth us with tender love. The hyacinth blesseth those who sigh. The hyacinth disappointeth the elements. The hyacinth beeth found in the cloudier annual winter. The hyacinth breaketh into the hyacinth's apparel within the oceans of nothingness. The hyacinth beeth scattered around. The hyacinth beeth smallest in the peculiar seasons of the forest. The hyacinth ventureth the hyacinth's existence into the rocks. The hyacinth beeth near. The hyacinth feeleth the hyacinth's final afternoon. The hyacinth obtaineth colors beside the stones. The hyacinth flowereth in a fleeting gladness. The hyacinth beeth glad on the plain. The hyacinth beeth sensed by hosts of hundreds. The hyacinth shareth the ground with the foot. The hyacinth beeth born in leisure. The hyacinth's day wavereth. The hyacinth beeth in the world with birds. The hyacinth's mortality beeth short. The hyacinth hath narrowed in beauty. The jessamine shacketh under the tree without warmth. The jessamine beeth scarcely of poor secrets. The jessamine abideth in the whimsical green. The jessamine beeth sweet in the misty sunrise. The jessamine beeth taken afflicted in the day. The jessamine remaineth in the peaceful fields. The jessamine beeth in best care. The jessamine groweth in the beautiful fields. The jessamine flowereth intrinsically in the jessamine's spot. The jessamine supplanteth together with the landscape. The jessamine fasseth the chill of life. The jessamine in vividness neighboreth the brook at evening. The jessamine obscureth the look of the countryside. The jessamine suffuseth the jessamine's early nectar. The pansy never beeth a strict thing. The pansy groweth in the stormy meadows. The pansy on the lawn hath a heavy spirit. The pansy beeth once seen as useful. The pansy waveth at nothing under the sun. The pansy beeth noticed during the pansy's transported hours. The pansy in the orchard gazeth at evening. The pansy beeth found beneath the cedar trees and the sweeping sky. The pansy beeth watered in the spring. The pansy waiteth for the pansy's highest flight. The pansy mourneth. The pansy beeth celestially defeated. The pansy sweeteneth the solitary universe. The pansy helpeth the bee to find its home. The pansy struggleth. The pansy's freshness beeth all. The pansy beeth interspersed. The violet in the long lawn beeth gentlest. The violet hath a bright residence. The violet circumstance beeth study. The violet beeth sealed away from yesterday. The violet forgetteth the grand humans. The violet beeth angelic in the violet's own superficial world. The violet beeth patient with foreigners. The violet groweth beside the native clover. The violet seeth the ethereal. The violet blesseth the slippery brooks. The violet's dew remaineth on the violet's blossom. The violet just riseth up. The violet appeareth eternally and majestically kind. The violet keepeth in the grass. The violet swalloweth the rain. The violet on the land beeth tread upon. The violet counteth the feet. The violet paradeth the violet's crown. The violet loveth the clouds. The violet beeth noticed by the bee. The violet warmeth the violet's head. The violet swelleth a little. The violet beeth swept over by the darkness. The violet bloweth in the countryside. The violet beeth replaced by the fog. The violet valueth gentleness. The violet roundeth into the distance. The violet beeth placed outside. The violet beeth plucked up unexpectedly. The violet appeareth in purple. The violet hath a poor beauty. The musk rose beeth taken. The musk rose wanteth to flower. The musk rose openeth scarlet. The musk rose counteth the days. The musk rose hath been found in hundreds of worlds. The musk rose beeth loved in many quantities. The musk rose groweth on the windy hill. The musk rose riseth. The musk rose breaketh into wholeness. The musk rose hath a soft beauty. The musk rose beeth placed in a spot. The musk rose beeth a little something to stop for. The musk rose beeth near the travelling foot. The musk rose dwelleth in safety. The musk rose hath a sweet frame. The musk rose groweth during the independent noon. The musk rose liveth. The musk rose beeth a reminder. The musk rose apprehendeth softness. The musk rose beeth tender in the dew. The musk rose pictureth the other flowers. The musk rose loveth the musk rose's home. The musk rose beeth for another. The musk rose beeth exchanged in custom. The musk rose wandereth over early tomorrow. The musk rose beeth infinitely praised. The musk rose's heart sleepeth. The musk rose bloweth in the morning breeze. The musk rose beeth found by the sweet bee. The sunflower awakeneth. The sunflower beeth glad beside the disappearing mouse. The sunflower overfloweth the land. The sunflower sleepeth. The sunflower beeth not obligated. The sunflower pauseth. The sunflower lingereth. The sunflower stirreth in wonderful seas. The sunflower beeth strange. The sunflower beeth leisurely. The sunflower pierceth the day. The sunflower beeth found in Eden. The sunflower hath the smallest heart in eternity. The sunflower beeth found under the inviting thunders. The sunflower hath joy. The sunflower giveth the sunflower's flakes. The sunflower groweth under the passing skies. The sunflower beeth a child. The sunflower fasseth the poor child. The sunflower eyeth the heavens. The sunflower beeth silent in impotence. The sunflower groweth in the peaceful grassy kingdom. The sunflower liveth by more crickets at noon. The sunflower sweeteneth the stars. The sunflower deafeneth another period. The sunflower tacketh the blank. The lily beeth sensible. The lily reacheth. The lily beeth found by the very weeds. The lily beeth mist. The lily beeth found in hundreds wild. The lily beeth in the simple winter. The lily beeth awakened by things. The lily beeth under the coming skies. The lilac hath a silent chariot. The lilac's pod beeth light. The lilac beeth a little presence. The lilac bursteth the lily's hood. The lilac stretcheth in glee. The lilac sweepeth in triumph. The lilac beeth chosen when stopped for. The lilac hath an everlasting circumference. The lilac beeth gathered by the house. The lilac beeth a gold supreme. The lilac groweth under the going moon. The lilac liveth in nature under the sun. The lilac beeth a message to the countryside. The lilac clingeth in the breezes. The lilac falleth into the lilac's wilderness. The lilac beeth created by the country. The lilac beeth met alive. The lilac trembleth. The lilac beeth conjectured under the glimmering stars. The lilac knoweth the skies. The lilac beeth watered by eternity. The lilac beeth subtracted from the sweet skies. The peony cometh to learn. The peony wandereth at the heavens. The peony haveth a good day. The peony needeth more of the best. The peony groweth on the shadowy hills. The carnation passeth the day. The carnation developeth. The carnation beeth taken from the fields. The carnation hath a poor origin. The carnation lengtheneth. The carnation careth for eternity. The carnation questioneth the great. The carnation beeth conceived in views. The carnation forgetteth the day. The carnation thriveth in the morning breaths. The carnation liveth by the home in town. The carnation hath a starry heart. The carnation beeth immortally childlike. The carnation hath the best spirit. The marigold hath a summer gaze. The marigold beeth a glory in the forests. The marigold hangeth strangely. The marigold breatheth slowly. The marigold groweth in the distance round. The marigold beeth found in the rich clover. The marigold loveth the summer. The marigold hath a higher pod. The marigold overfloweth the orchard. The marigold beeth viewed throughout nature. The marigold liveth by the happy woods. The marigold liveth golden. The marigold seeketh the marigold's heart. The marigold liveth little. The marigold liveth in the marigold's spot. The marigold liveth near. The marigold liveth in assembly. The marigold liveth in seeth. The marigold liveth during evening. The marigold liveth gracefully. The marigold hath an easy pride. The hibiscus hath seasons in the sunlight. The hibiscus fasteth the day. The hibiscus beeth in the quivering grass. The hibiscus shacketh with the grass. The hibiscus standeth in the light. The hibiscus beeth sweet and touching. The hibiscus hath a sweet trust. The hibiscus groweth in the sweet dews. The hibiscus hath a meek fragrance. The hibiscus groweth on the striking mountains. The hibiscus liveth in a sparkling place. The hibiscus beeth scooped by the traveler. The hibiscus regardeth the skies. The hibiscus loveth the blue day. The hibiscus waiteth in hinder. The hibiscus beeth sweet and cool. The hibiscus hath a purple glance. The hibiscus beeth sympathetic. The hibiscus beeth rich and new. The hibiscus stretcheth up the hill. The hibiscus softeneth in the sun. The hibiscus groweth in the stately orchard. The hibiscus hourly shadoweth. The hibiscus transporteth the hibiscus prayer. The hibiscus hath a purple beauty. The hibiscus liveth on the huge meadows. The narcissus feeleth the fields. The narcissus needeth to fit. The narcissus hath many hours. The narcissus fitteth with the nosegays. The narcissus thinketh of Eden. The narcissus tacketh a moment. The narcissus beeth outside in the winter. The narcissus absolutely counts. The narcissus groweth on the mountainside. The narcissus beginneth in the mist. The narcissus hath a solemn glance. The narcissus beholdeth victory. The narcissus groweth in the luscious spring. The narcissus beeth compared to the clover. The narcissus's bud droppeth on the field. The narcissus beeth unmoved at midnight. The narcissus breaketh. The narcissus weareth the narcissus fashion for nobody. The narcissus beeth clear. The narcissus recollecteth mutely. The narcissus groweth in the windy spaces. The narcissus hath a soul. The narcissus beeth in the landscape. The narcissus beeth stopped by to beeth watered. The narcissus accomplisheth immortality. The narcissus groweth at a sublime angle. The narcissus brusheth the cloud. The narcissus beeth under the fierce carriage. The narcissus showeth the narcissus smallness. The narcissus striveth in the narcissus space. The narcissus beeth whole beside the house. The chrysanthemum thinketh solemn thoughts. The chrysanthemum shacketh in the garden. The chrysanthemum strengtheneth in the springtime. The chrysanthemum concealeth the chrysanthemum's hands. The chrysanthemum groweth in the ethereal pendulum. The chrysanthemum giveth bliss to a lady. The chrysanthemum beeth a little deer. The chrysanthemum cometh to the field. The chrysanthemum bloometh in the quaint sunrise. The chrysanthemum loveth the myriad of villages. The chrysanthemum loveth the tender cloud. The chrysanthemum beeth a fresh neighbor. The chrysanthemum judgeth by impressions. The heather loveth to love. The heather beeth lost in silence. The heather waiteth for the pausing bee. The heather groweth by a blue brook. The heather wandereth at the sky. The heather wandereth in the winds. The heather knoweth the farther rivers. The heather boweth hourly. The heather beeth content with the butterflies. The heather groweth at length to acres. The heather groweth in huge evening. The heather trusteth the day. The heather gaineth peace. The heather reacheth the stars. The heather groweth in the chambers of noon. The heather beeth a queen of the mist. The heather waveth briskly. The buttercup earneth each flower. The buttercup beeth a thing of vision. The buttercup beeth swallowed up by night. The buttercup beeth unexpected and gentle. The buttercup slowly shacketh. The buttercup standeth toward away. The buttercup abideth by the hurrying birds. The buttercup awakeneth to the news. The buttercup leeth in accident. The buttercup hath never heard of pain. The buttercup maketh friends infinitely. The buttercup dieth again. The buttercup dwelleth at home. The buttercup beeth a thing in the night. The buttercup trusteth to hoppeth. The buttercup vieweth the solitary moon. The buttercup foldeth in slips. The buttercup groweth on the green hill. The buttercup's event unfoldeth. The buttercup beeth repeated in the land. The buttercup turneth away. The buttercup beeth folded in mist. The buttercup beeth named by the public. The buttercup holdeth the buttercup's substance. The buttercup inventeth sweetness. The buttercup beeth asleep for centuries. The buttercup beeth a soft blank. The buttercup trifleth in the light. The buttercup groweth on the gracious hills. The buttercup occupeth in the light. The buttercup loveth. The buttercup admireth the differences. The buttercup juggleth the ratios. The buttercup groweth in the bright woods. The buttercup hath a seated spirit. The buttercup's hour beeth close. The honeysuckle liveth with hundreds. The honeysuckle flingeth in the winds. The honeysuckle's heart beeth sweet. The honeysuckle knoweth the power of truth. The honeysuckle glanceth suspiciously. The honeysuckle disappeareth when picked. The honeysuckle groweth under the open skies. The honeysuckle beeth lost in the light. The honeysuckle liveth in the honeysuckle's spot. The honeysuckle groweth near the immortal street. The honeysuckle groweth in the dark mud. The honeysuckle existeth in eternity. The honeysuckle liveth in the bright seasons. The honeysuckle groweth in the lands and mountains. The honeysuckle hath a beauty beyond. The honeysuckle returneth by the house. The honeysuckle groweth in the evening sweet. The honeysuckle hath an internal celestial. The honeysuckle puzzleth the circumference. The honeysuckle fasseth the street. The daisy hath a bold bliss. The daisy brusheth the dust. The daisy liketh to swell. The daisy shacketh. The daisy bursteth victoriously. The daisy knoweth defeat. The daisy beeth conscious of the daisy's bloom. The daisy cometh to nature. The daisy knoweth. The daisy beeth a spirit of yesterday. The daisy loveth the morning's paradises. The daisy groweth on the royal lawn. The daisy beeth included in the spring. The daisy resumeth in necessity. The daisy beeth deepened. The daisy beeth dazzled by the blue. The daisy liveth under the blue. The daisy heareth the swans' voices. The daisy judgeth the afternoon. The daisy waveth to the sky. The daffodil hath a sweet way. The daffodil flingeth under the clouds. The daffodil beeth a child of the night. The daffodil beeth sweet and alone. The daffodil loveth the fine country. The daffodil once beeth low. The daffodil helpeth each thing. The daffodil sufficeth by the wall. The daffodil telleth what the daffodil knoweth. The daffodil leeth in nature. The snapdragon seeth the realm. The snapdragon watcheth the dutiful robin. The snapdragon beeth lost in the landscape. The snapdragon fasseth the pond. The snapdragon groweth by the picturesque moss. The snapdragon knoweth the sea. The snapdragon knoweth the secrets of heaven. The snapdragon vieweth the soul. The snapdragon clingeth in bliss. The snapdragon beeth a scarce thing. The snapdragon hath a scarce breath. The snapdragon abideth in a flowery residence. The orchid loveth the tender sun. The orchid admireth the robins. The orchid's home beeth heaven. The orchid surmiseth the day. The orchid deemeth agony. The orchid droppeth. The orchid whippeth in the winter. The orchid surrendereth to heaven. The orchid catcheth a chill. The orchid groweth in the slow evening. The orchid knoweth joy and defeat. The orchid winneth the orchid's safety. The orchid fleeth. The orchid beeth acquainted with God. The orchid still dubteth. The orchid passeth the orchid's love to you. Finis.